Hi, this story is about an elderly Vietnam War veteran who leads a calm and measured life. But soon everything will change and he will become a real internet star. He couldn't even dream about it, but it happened just like that. Frank Vega grew up in a modest family and spent his childhood helping his parents on a farm in California. He appreciated the simple joys of life and especially appreciated the relationship with his girlfriend Lindsay, with whom he dreamed of building a family. However, their plans were changed by the Vietnam War. Frank served in Vietnam for 10 years, and upon returning home, he found out that Lindsay had married another man and had 2 children with him. This news caused Frank a lot of pain. He understands that in the near future, happiness in his personal life cannot be expected and decides to build a career. At first, he went to the police academy, where he hoped to get because of his combat experience, but he was refused because of his serious injury. The guy went to interviews, where he was constantly refused due to lack of higher education. As a result, Frank started selling hot dogs on the street and did not notice how 40 years had passed. But one day, everything changes. That day, Frank takes the usual route by bus, which 2 skinheads enter. One of the passengers secretly shoots guys on the phone. Skinheads begin to pester the dark-skinned passenger, demanding to make room for them. He refuses, and then the hooligans are going to beat the old man properly. But Frank intervenes. At first, he just wants to scare the guys and says he's not going to fight with them. The bandits begin to get impudent and decide to punish Frank, but after a couple of strong blows, both fall to the floor. The passenger puts a video of the fight on the internet, and the video quickly becomes popular, and Frank is now a local celebrity nicknamed Badass. People make graffiti and print t-shirts with his image. Cops patrol the streets with the veteran, and he is often invited to a TV show. 3 months pass. Frank's elderly mother, Juanita, dies and leaves her son her house, jewelry, and dog Baxter. When Vega moves into her mother's house, Mayor Williams tells on TV that special attention is being paid to the fight against crime. A man lets his best friend Klondike Washington live with him for a while. When the guys drink beer in the evening, Klondike gives Frank a flash drive, asks him to hide it in a safe, and says that important information is on it. A tipsy friend goes to the store for cigarettes. On the way back, he is met by 2 bandits, Sebastian and Terrence, and they demand to give something back. Klondike attacks them and quickly copes with the villains. But one of the bandits pulls out a gun and kills the old man. The news of his friend's death devastates Frank. He had no relatives or friends left. He asks the cops to find the scum. In the evening, Vega goes to the store next to the house for a bottle of alcohol. 3 robbers break in and immediately get what they deserve. Neighbors complain that the criminals in this area are completely brazen and ask for help from Vega. Near the house, the boy Martin recognizes a new neighbor as a badass from the bus. The teenager lives with his mother, Amber Lambs, and abusive father, Martin Sr. Later, Officer Malark arrives and tries to assure Frank that detectives are looking for his friend's killers. Vega understands that because of the death of a black man, the cops are unlikely to raise the whole city on their ears. The veteran goes to the station to find out how the investigation is going. He sees that the detectives are having fun right at work and decides to take matters into his own hands. He investigates the crime scene, finds a shell casing and a pendant with a photo of a pretty girl inside. Frank goes to the pawn shop. He realizes that the bullet was fired from a Beretta pistol. Such pistols are used in the U.S. Army. In the photo from the pendant, the seller recognizes his wife's friend. He says her husband, Terrence, lives a couple blocks away. Vega comes to the couple's house and gives the woman the pendant. She complains that her husband has not been home for a week. The last time he was seen in a park nearby, when he was playing basketball with friends. Frank comes to the playground and asks the muscular guys where to find Terrence, but the guys only mock the old man. Vega beats up 3 impudents, and the rest immediately calm down. They say you need to ask Reynolds from 85th Street. Frank breaks into the guy's squalid apartment, where he is attacked by Reynolds' neighbor, who rents an apartment with him. The veteran threatens him and the neighbor admits that Ronaldo often hangs out in a bar on the other side of town. At this time, Mayor Williams is talking in a secluded place with the mafia boss Panther. The mayor says that the gangster people screwed up when they missed the flash drive with compromising evidence on him. If the information from her pops up, the mayor will definitely lose the election, which is 3 months away. Panther replies that his people will soon resolve the issue. The mayor also adds that it's time to end with the badass who started poking his nose everywhere. The scumbags from the bus try to shoot Frank with a machine gun, but he manages to hide behind the car. In the evening, Vega sees the neighbors quarreling once again, and Martin Sr. raises his hand to his wife again. The veteran helps Amber stop the bleeding and treats the kid to ice cream. When Frank comes to the bar looking for Ronaldo, the scumbags traditionally attack him and, of course, get what they deserve. The owner of the establishment stops the fight and says that the guy is upstairs. Defiant Ronaldo snatches a knife, but soon he admits that Terrence can be found at Tatiana's massage parlor. Officer Malark gives the veteran a ride and warns that the police chief is watching him closely and is looking for an excuse to issue an arrest warrant for Vega. A huge bandit is waiting for Frank at home and demands to give him the flash drive. However, the man refuses and politely asks the fat man to leave through the window. Vega asks Martin to open the flash drive on the laptop. They find out that the mayor has allowed the Panther to evict many people from their homes at the place where they found a rich oil field. Frank comes to Tatiana's massage parlor, but she says she hasn't seen Terrence for a long time. The veteran decides to follow the girl. Tatiana's neighbor is a big fan of Frank. He tells the man that the back door in her house is not locked. Frank finds Terrence inside, grabs the scoundrel, and puts his hand into the garbage shredder in the kitchen. When the guy's fingers are cut off, he confesses that he and Sebastian killed the Klondike on the orders of the Panther. Terrence adds that the bandits will be at the Bergamot warehouse tomorrow. When Frank returns home, he hears the neighbors' screams again and sees that their front door has been broken down. Frank calls the bullying man and tells him to leave his wife alone. Amber invites a neighbor to dinner. The joyful man preens himself and puts on his best suit. At the table, Vega asks to take a beautiful box of matches as a souvenir and adds that he loves souvenirs. The man praises Amber's dish, the couple drinks and communicates perfectly. They are about to kiss when Martin appears. Frank insists that the neighbors stay with him until he fixes their front door. The next day, the veteran gives the flash drive to Officer Malark and leaves. In the evening, Vega comes to the Bergamot warehouse and tells the thugs to call the Panther. Frank attacks the leader, but he is quickly knocked out and tied to a chair. The prisoner is repeatedly tortured with electric shock so that he confesses where he hid the flash drive. However, Vega, who went through torture in Vietnam, does not say a word to the villains. The Panther takes Frank's driver's license, and he understands from the veteran's face that someone is waiting for him at home. The leader is going to Vega's house to take hostages and orders his men to continue torturing the old man. Frank frees his hands, lights a match, and throws it directly into a barrel of combustible materials. The Panther wounds the veteran's leg with a machete and runs away. Vega, suffering severe pain, gets up and rushes after the villain. Both hijack a bus and arrange an epic chase. On the way, men knock down cars like toys, and Frank even manages to drive through the building. As a result, Frank puts his bus on its side, and the Panther goes right under the train. The veteran is chasing the bandit on foot again. The road is blocked by two scumbags from the beginning of the film. The guys complain that because of the viral video, everyone is mocking them now. They turn on the camera to record the video. However, Vega takes the gun from them, beats the fools, and continues on his way to his house. The Panther runs into the house and demands Amber to give the flash drive. At this moment, Frank appears, and the men start a fight, which gradually turns into the street. The bandit hits the veteran on the wounded leg, and he falls. Amber jumps on the villain's back and gives Vega time to get up. Frank remembers the murdered comrade and brutally beats the Panther. When the compromising material from the flash drive becomes public, the police arrest Panther and corrupt Mayor Williams. Vega receives a reward for bravery. Frank and Amber start dating. How do you like the movie Badass? Share it in the comments. Thank you for watching.